Hello, fellow witches and wizards. My name is Phoenix Jenny, and welcome to Nancy Drew Treasure in the Royal Tower. I am so excited to finally be sharing a Nancy Drew game with you guys. Nancy Drew is like the foundation of all video games that I play. I do play a lot of games that are nothing like Nancy Drew, but a lot of my favorite games no, scratch that. My favorite games are Nancy Drew. That's just it. Like, nothing tops Nancy Drew for me. Not The Sims, not, I don't know, whatever else I play, not True Fear, none of that. Like, Nancy Drew is my jam, okay? And so, like, I wasn't gonna play Nancy Drew for quite a while on the channel, but I am making an exception because today is December 21st. It is the winter solstice. And I was like, man, I really want to play something wintry. And I thought, why don't I play the 4 Nancy Drew games that take place in winter, that have like a wintry weather surrounding the game. So I decided I'm going to play Treasure in the Royal Tower, The White Wolf of Icicle Creek, The Deadly Device, and Sea of Darkness. Those are the 4 Nancy Drew games that have winter weather involved. So, winter weather in the Northern Hemisphere, I should say. Well, okay. Yes, no, I'm right. Winter's the same in the Southern Hemisphere too. It's just a different time of the year. So scratch what I said. But anyway, winter weather. Yes, I'm excited to get cozy and to play Treasure in the Royal Tower. This is the very first Nancy Drew game I ever played, and I am very excited to share it. Yeah, so I guess we should get into it. I feel like there's something else I was gonna say, but I can't think of it at the moment. Yeah, let's get into it.
Hi there, it's me, Nancy Drew. You're just in time for my latest mystery, Treasure in the Royal Tower. Choose your difficulty level to start off. If you're new to adventure games, you might want to click the tutorial button first for a few tips on how to play the game.
So, I have played every single Nancy Drew game more than once, except for Midnight Salem. I've only played that game once. It doesn't run on my computer very well. I have to play it on a different computer in order to play it, and I no longer have access to that computer. Now, I could play it on my new gaming computer, but there is no disk drive for that computer, and I have it on disk. I could buy it as download, but I really don't want to buy it again. So, but I will play that eventually. I will play all the Nancy Drew games for my channel. I'm a Nancy Drew expert, okay? I've played all these games millions of times. I've watched other people play these games on YouTube millions of times. I am a subscriber of Arglefump, and I've seen his stuff over and over. So, I'm an expert. I always play on Senior Detective because I am a Senior Detective. I always play on Master because I am a Master. So I know exactly what I'm doing. This is nothing like my True Fear series where I'm stumbling around. I know exactly what I'm doing. So, but that being said, I'm also a completionist. So I usually play the whole game through, and I don't cheat. I don't, as much as possible, I don't skip to things. I like to do things in order. I like to play the game as if I've never played before. That's how I like to enjoy the games. That's how I enjoy all my games. That being said, should I do the tutorial? I always do the tutorial, even though I really don't need it. I always do it because, I don't know, because I like to do the whole game. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe for the sake of recording, I shouldn't. Because it's not the most interesting thing. Should I? Should I not? I don't know. I will for the sake of any of you watching who have never played a Nancy Drew game before. How's that?
Okay, in this game, your mission is to solve the mystery. Step into my shoes. You'll be my eyes and ears and choose what I do. Get ready, because there's a lot to do. When you're in the center of a room, you can turn around in a circle to see the whole room. Move your cursor to the left or right edge of the screen. An arrow will appear that allows you to turn in that direction when you click on it. A forward arrow allows you to advance in the direction you want to go. Likewise, a back arrow allows you to take a step back. Sometimes up and down arrows will be available too. Give it a try. Find the forward arrow and take a step over to that round table to see what's there.
Okay, I apologize for that annoying radiator sound. The radiator is broken. In this game, that radiator that you see right there is broken, and that'll be explained when we actually play the game, but for whatever reason, it's broken in the tutorial too, so it kind of makes it a little annoying. This is the round table, she means.
I always carry my magnifying glass with me to scan for clues. When it turns red, I know I'm onto something. Move your mouse until the magnifying glass turns red, and then click to zoom in. See what I mean? The magnifying glass is quite a handy tool. When it turns red, you can use it to open and close things, pick up objects, and move things around. When you want to go back to where you came from or turn around, find where your cursor turns into a U-turn at the bottom of the screen and click.
I also apologize if you hear any gurgling sounds from my computer. I am recording this on my all-in-one computer, so my disk drive is in the screen, so my microphone is picking that up. You can also hear the disc spinning. I'm old school. This isn't a download. This is the disc that I've had for years, so you can hear it spinning in the disk drive inside the computer itself. I apologize for that.
Take a few steps over to the desk. There you will find my room card key. All right. When you find something useful in the game, you can pick it up and carry it around with you. Want to try? Pick up the key. Good work. You're a natural. To use one of these objects, just move your mouse over it in the toolbox on the right and click on it. See how your cursor turns into that item? Then you can click on the area where you want to use it. Is that everything? Oh, I almost forgot one of the most important detective skills. You know, questioning suspects. In the game, you can talk to the people you meet. The conversation will appear in the text box next to the toolbox. The words of the person you're talking to will be in blue, and my replies will be in white. Select a question or a reply by clicking on it, and listen to what your suspect says next. Give it a try.
Hello there. What brings you to Whitford Castle?
I usually pick the first option. I almost never stray, unless it's an option I don't particularly like. Never mind that. What I'd like to know is why you're hiding behind that plant. That's a pretty good one, though. I'll go with that one. Why not? Let's be adventurous.
Never mind that. What I'd like to know is, why are you hiding behind that plant? If there are a lot of words in the text box, you know how some people can talk. Those bars to the right move up and down so that you can read along. Okay, we're almost done. At the bottom left is a little pocket watch where you can check the time in the game. You can also advance time by resetting the alarm clock by the bed if you're impatient for night to fall or the sun to rise. If you make a major mistake, say you fall off a roof or blow something up, you can select Second Chance from the main menu to get back to where you were before you goof. And if you get stuck or feel like talking to someone you know you can trust, you can always call Beth and George or Ned. So that's it. You're ready to tackle the case. I'll return you to the player challenge screen where you can start the game. Junior Detective is not quite as tough as the senior level, so you might want to start there. You never know what you'll turn up in the game, so be sure to explore. Don't forget to trust your instincts and have fun. Good luck.
Woohoo! Exciting, exciting. I played this with my mom the very first time. She brought this video game home for me and her to play, and it's just so nostalgic for me, and I'm really excited. But we're going to be playing Senior Detective, because like I said, I'm a master at these.
Dear George, so much for my Wisconsin ski vacation. I arrived here at Whitford Castle last night, just before a blizzard swept in. The mountain is completely shut down, and the surrounding roads are closed. I think I'm one of the few guests who made it to the castle at all. The place is huge and old, and slightly creepy under the circumstances. You should hear this wind. What's more, the owner, Christy Lane, my father's friend, is away on business. I tried to ask the caretaker, Dexter Egan, how I could contact her, but he said he didn't know. Doesn't that seem odd? I couldn't help feeling like there was something he wasn't telling me. All this makes me a little nervous, but I'm determined to enjoy myself. After all, this is a vacation, right? I have big plans to explore the castle. That Ezra Whitford, the original owner, must have been quite a character to have built such an extraordinary place. It's filled with strange, dead-end corridors, for one thing. And I noticed one of the towers is totally different from the other ones. Of course, I'll have to save some time to meet Jacques Brunet, the French ski instructor. Tell Bess she'll be the first to know if he's half as gorgeous in person as he looks on his website. So, George, I guess things never quite go according to plan, but at least this time, the culprit is just a snowstorm. Talk to you soon. Now all I need is a mailbox.
Okay, perfect. We got the letter here in our inventory, and we can get started. Okay, so when I play Nancy Drew, I always have a notebook, and I always make notes so I know what I need to do, and also there's almost always at least one puzzle in every Nancy Drew game where you actually need to write it down to figure it out. So if you need any pro tips, always have pencil and paper nearby for these games. Any professional Nancy Drew game player will tell you that. Now on my particular notepad, I have things to do. I write down things to do, and because I often, if I don't write things to do, I'll get stuck and I'll forget that there was a puzzle I was supposed to finish that I forgot about. So I write everything down that I come across so that I can always return to it later when I am not sure what to do next. The first thing is explore thoroughly. So I like to go through everything and explore everything thoroughly before actually getting down to any serious gameplay. When I look around in a room, I always start at the door where you leave and start from the right and go all the way around back to that door. So I'm going to look this way, go to the right, just kind of look around. We can look at this table. We can look at this magazine, like the tutorial. Sassy Detectives, this is the October issue. Poll results, the verdict on what makes a case truly irresistible, what's in her bag, amateur detectives, and the sleuthy gadgets they won't leave home without. Fingerprinting 101, is that SD powdering her nose or working out a keypad access code? Exclusive Q&A with Canada's hottest new girl sleuth, Lorna McNamar. Okay, and the fingerprinting is what's important to us here. Fingerprinting 101, using fingerprints to determine keypad access codes by Karen Clausen. When we touch things, some of the oil from our skin is left behind on the surface of the thing we have touched. Our fingertips each have a unique pattern on them, and the oil shows, or prints, this pattern. This is how we get the term fingerprint. When you touch several surfaces with the same fingertip, the oil begins to get used up, so the fingerprint becomes lighter and lighter. The most common method of discovering fingerprints is called dusting. When you brush a light powder over a surface, the powder or dust will cling to the oil left by fingertips, revealing the fingerprints. Remember, fingerprints will appear in darker or lighter shades depending upon how much oil is present. Now, Sassy Detectives put 2 and 2 together to figure out how to determine a keypad access code. Here's a little test. If you saw the 4 fingerprints below, what order would you put them in from first to last? Well, I would start with the darker one and go to the lighter one. So it would be 1, 7, 3, 5 by the looks of it. Will the darkest fingerprint be the first button that we pressed or the last? So then what's the code? That would be the code. Okay. And that's the kind of magazine Nancy Drew reads, as you would expect.
Sounds like the radiator is broken.
Does sound like the radiator is broken. Don't know how Nancy goes to sleep at night when it's broken, but we will get it fixed. Here's our alarm clock, and we can set it to any time we like. Here's our phone and our phone numbers, and the operator, I think, will tell us, or actually, we can see if we have voicemail here.
Welcome to the voicemail system. Please press 0 to retrieve messages. To leave the system, please press 3. First message. To go to the next message.
No messages. Didn't think so. I think that light comes on when there's messages as well. We have a menu. Whitford Castle menu. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Baby back ribs with creature of the night barbecue sauce, $10.95. Fried bologna sandwich supreme with white bread, $7.25. Excuse me. Crushed potato chip sprinkles, 50 cents. Really? Oh. Anchovy heaven, Caesar salad with eternity of garlic. Croutons, $5.50. Hot diggity, all you can eat. Fried chicken, drumsticks, $10. Something smokin', chili cheese dog, $7.50. Better than nothing, broccoli surprise, $3. Desserts, $4. White cheddar ice cream log, that sounds good. Chocolate mayhem, odyssey to banana land, key to enlightenment lime pie, sugar crusted, rhubarb jerky, well, ew. Anyway, that will go in our inventory. And we can look at our suitcase. We have a brochure for Whitford Castle. Vacation Resort, Butter Ridge, Wisconsin, Wisconsin Historical Landmark number 487. Welcome to Whitford Castle. In 1920, Ezra Whitford, the inventor of chocolate milk, not really the inventor of chocolate milk in real life, dreamed of building a castle like no other. The project took 7 years, 132 carpenters, and millions of dollars, but by the time it was done, Whitford Castle had become an architectural marvel. Then, in 1945, Whitford mysteriously locked himself away in the castle and allowed the place to fall into a state of decline. After Whitford's death, the castle was closed down for many years, its fate unknown, until it was finally inherited and reopened by his great niece, Christy Lane, in 1990. Now it is one of the most popular vacation resorts in the Midwest. What to do while you're here. Lose yourself in the castle. The castle is a maze of corridors, and some of them lead nowhere. No one knows why Ezra included these dead ends in his castle design, but everyone agrees he must have had quite an imagination. Learn the story of the 18th century French tower. During his travels in France, Whitford became so enchanted by the Chateau Rougemont that he bought the castle's grand tower and had it built onto this castle in 1924. Few people have ever seen the inside of the tower because Mr. Whitford kept it sealed off. The tower is still closed, but in the coming months, Christy Lane plans to open it up to guests and offer guided tours. Miss Lane also plans to restore the vintage 1920s elevator to its original condition. Oops. I'm trying to read further. Miss Lane is grateful to the Wisconsin Historical Foundation for their support in this project. Visit the library. Also while in France, Whitford acquired the majestic library and many of its contents from the estate of Jean Leboeuf. The room is filled with antique books, both French and English. It's worth a visit just to see Marcel Bonnet's famous portrait of Marie Antoinette, which was imported from the Chateau Rougemont. Outdoor attractions. We're located just at the foot of scenic Butter Ridge. In the winter months, guests enjoy skiing on some of the best groomed slopes in the Midwest. In the warmer months, guests love the hike to Butter Lovers Lake. The mountain fields are covered with the region's magnificent wildflowers. Look for lady slippers, skunk cabbage, black-eyed Susans, butterfly weed, devil's paintbrush, toadflax, and more. No matter how you spend your time at Whitford Castle, you're bound to have an adventure. Yes, so like I've said, I've played every Nancy Drew game, and this one is definitely in my top 10. If you so if you're thinking of what Nancy Drew game you'd like to try, this is definitely one of them. Definitely in my top 10. Not just for nostalgic reasons. I also love the French language, and that's featured in this game. And I love French history, especially when it comes to Marie Antoinette. I'm very fascinated with Marie Antoinette, and that's why I love this game as well. Her history is featured in this game. There's always something educational about a Nancy Drew game, but it's never done in a way, well, almost never. It's kind of done in an annoying way in The Secret of Scarlet Hand, for some people. Not for me, but for some people. But usually, there's something educational about it. Not everything is factual, but some things are. And that's also a fun thing about these games, at least in my opinion. Okay, we're going to grab this. Whitford Castle, room key card, or card key. Card key must be returned when you check out. If found, please return to the front desk. Enjoy your stay at Whitford Castle. We are room number 25. Important to remember that because you can't click on that to remember it later. So, hopefully you can find your room. It is easy to get lost in this castle. Whitford Castle, Vacation Resort, locker number 310, combination 517. Typically, I would write that sort of thing down, but I wait until I need it to write it down, so I keep my notes all in order. Okay, and I also save it after I've explored a room or finished a task. It is important to save in this game frequently. Oops. I always name it this particular title because when I was a child, me and my sister would play these games, and often our games would get confused because we'd play the same game at the same time. So I always put which game is mine, and I also put which game because I would play the game multiple times. Since there's no other game saved here, this is my first game and my first save one. Okay. So which way should we start? Let's go this way first. Like I said, you can get lost here, so be careful of that. And the hitboxes for these are weird too. Not super intuitive.
Dead end.
That's one of the dead ends we've learned about. Sound of typing. Ooh. I like it. There's Marie Antoinette. Nothing there suspicious at all. Nothing at all. Not important. Trust me. And we have a staircase that goes nowhere.
This one goes nowhere.
Like I said. Someone's typing there, but they won't answer the door. Also, we can look down. And the other room is probably not important. Yep. Okay. So we just passed rooms 208 to 209. Or, no, we're going towards 208 to 209, and we just passed 210 to 214. That's helpful when trying to figure out where you are. Is this another dead end?
Hit the wall.
It is. And that's the staircase. We won't go down there just yet. Net. Another picture of her. That way's 201 to 202, and that one's 203 to 207. And a staircase, which we can't go down because it's too dark.
It's too dark. I should take the elevator.
And this is our room here, 205. Okay, so we made it back around, I guess. Unless we can go this... Oh, we went this way. Okay. Just making sure we explored everywhere. So that is important. So we will go down the staircase then. We went this way, correct? I believe we did. Just making sure we've been everywhere. We have. We have been there. Okay. And we will go down here and explore. But I think we will do that next time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment down below telling me what you thought of the video. Do you like this game? Did you play it before? Would you like to play it? Anything and everything in the comments down below. If you like the video, click the like button. And if you are not a subscriber yet, click subscribe. Click the bell icon. So you can be notified, not only when I upload videos, but also when I go live. I also live stream. I won't be live streaming this week because it's Christmas week, but typically I live stream every day, but Wednesday and Sunday, and I live stream all those days 2 p.m. except on Saturdays, where I live stream at 6 p.m. Where I live stream my Storytime Saturdays, where we are reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday, come and join us. I also, if you'd like to support what I do, I have a Patreon. It is now all fixed. If you had previously been watching my stuff and wanted to support me, I now have the tier set up, so you can do that. My Patreon is linked in the description below. And yeah, I think that's everything. So, again, thank you so much for watching, and have a magical day.